guys, welcome to my channel Reviews with SDA. So welcome back to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching this video and supporting me. And if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I promise you would enjoy it, especially if you're a lover of fantasy books and adventure series and all that. So yes, let's get into today's review. So today I'm going to be reviewing one of the books I talked about in July. In July I released a TBR list. I know this is not the July fast, but I'm still reading some of the series. The series I talked about reading is The Faithful and the Fallen series, written by John Gwynne. The first book was released in 2012, and I know I'm just reading it, but the book is amazing. It's amazing. I think starting this book, I did not expect what I started to enjoy. I just thought that, okay, let me just read something that has to do with fantasy and adventure. Let me just get into something that gets my blood boiling and pumping and my heart racing while I read it. So I decided to read this book. And in July, when I did my TBR, I mentioned that when I read the synopsis of this series, the moment I saw angels and demons battling, my mind went boom, 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 because that's something I would love to read, and I was not disappointed. So this review is for the first book, which is Malice. Malice was released in 2012 and followed by Valor, Ruin, and Wrath. So I've already finished Malice and I just started Valor, but I wouldn't really be talking about Valor today. It's just about Malice now, completed. And what would I say about the book is that it's amazing and it's not what I expected. As this type of story been done before, yes, it has been done. But the fact that I enjoyed it so much is the amazing thing about this book. So now let me just give you a brief. You know me, I don't know how to do spoiler-free reviews, but I will try to do a spoiler-free review today because I don't want to spoil anything for people that I'm recommending this series for. Like I said, it was written by John Gwynne and it was his debut novel. So it's a creation story. There's prophecy. See, if you love prophecy, if you love friendship stories, if you love family love, if you love adventure, if you love the chosen one trope, if you love all those things, you're going to get in this book. Yes, it is cliche, it is the fantasy trope thing. Everything about this book has all the fantasy trope. It starts with a prologue. It has the chosen one. There's a prophecy and all that. So it has everything that has to do with fantasy tropes. But it was well done. And if you do all those tropes, I know that tropes are like reoccurring and people are getting tired of it. I feel like if you do it and you do it well, nobody will vex with you. And this is what happened in this series. It's a creation story. Creation stories have been done before. So in this world, the world was created by God. His name Elion, and his first creations were the angels. They called them the Benelim, Azroth. God jealous of Elion's other creations, just like the devil and God. And yeah, so like that, God jealous, so he decided to destroy Elion's creations. Right? Decided to destroy Elion's creations, and so he fell from grace. Yes, the fallen angel Azroth with his other fallen angels. So in this, they are demons, and they call them the Kadoshim. Okay, they call them the Kadoshim. And so a war was fought between angels and demons in the other world, heaven. In the other world, the war was fought between them, and Azeroth ended up being imprisoned in a portion of the other world, in like a prison part with his fallen angels. And now, Elion also created giants and mankind to live together. But when the Star Stone fell, the giants started creating treasures from this Star Stone. This Star Stone, the treasures that were created from the Star Stone, became something that started corrupting them. Through the treasures that were created, Azeroth was poisoning mankind and giants alike. Giants that was one clan became several clans and they started killing each other. Anyways, Elion got angry and decided to scourge the world. He destroyed it with sending his Benedicts to destroy it with water and fire, and they destroyed the world. But then he realized what Azeroth pushed him into doing, and then he stopped halfway. But half of the world was almost destroyed. So after everything, some people survived. Half of the giants survived. Mankind also survived. So they populated the whole world, growing in numbers, and the world moved on. But then someone had a prophecy. Yes, that's where the prophecy will come in. So someone had a prophecy that the God war that is still continuing in the other world, that is the heaven. Even though Azeroth is imprisoned, he still has his devilish ways, his cunning ways in the world, and he's still trying to destroy it. So two champions rise, one for good and one for evil. One is the bright star and one is the black sun. See the bright star, black sun. Anyway, black sun is for the devil and bright star is for God. So with this prophecy, what the Benin have to do is protect the bright star until the time comes. Because even with the prophecy, it's not like it's just going to happen. The God was just going to happen. There are signs to look out for, some things that will happen leading up to that event. So now that we have heard about the prophecy and the people that are going to fight this war and everything else, why I think people should read this series. Let's talk about that. First of all, I've said this thing before. The characters are what does it for me in books. Like, even if the story is not great, but I find a character that I love so much, I am going to the end of the book. And this series, I said I've already started book 2, so I know that there are other characters. This series has so many great characters, even the ones that I just want to reach into the book and just punch in the face. Yes, even those ones are great. So the first book has about like 5 POVs, that's 5 characters that you have to like read from their point of view. And I loved it so much, because I just like the fact that I could see things from other people's point of view, other characters' point of view, not just one person's point of view, 2 people's point of view. So it was just amazing that way. And I think the reason for the many characters is because this entire series is happening in different parts of the world. Like I said, mankind grew and the different nations and kingdoms was created from after the scourging of the world. So that meant that there were people in the north, in the south, in the west, and blah, 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 blah. There were even pirates, people that were ruling the sea and all that. So every character showed what was happening in those parts of the world, which was just lovely for me. Now, one of the things I really liked was the show and tell aspects of it. It was not just someone just telling a story. You could feel the story almost like you're right there as it is happening. Now, something I couldn't really picture the characters, but that is just a minor thing because aside from picturing the characters and their faces and all that, I could tell who they were just by the depth and how well they were written, just about just by how they all had different personalities, and you could just tell who they are, not by their physical appearance. So I couldn't really like put a face to many of the characters. But that was not a problem. It's like just a minor thing. It wasn't really a problem. The show and tell swept that away because you could feel it, you could almost see the surroundings of what you're reading, which is amazing to do, especially with a book that is as huge as this. Now, it was slow paced. This book was slow paced. Malice especially. When you start Valor, it's a different thing. But with Malice, it was slow paced. And I get it because it's like introduction into the world that you're about to read. So it was an introduction to many of the characters and everything, the prophecy and everything. So it was an introduction, but the introduction was so long. But I did not hate it. Do you know why? Because I could get the feeling that something miraculous is still going to happen. Now, and one thing I liked again that did not really make me feel the slow pace was the fact that there were cliffhangers. And you know, cliffhangers can be written in a way that makes you want to punch the person that is writing the book, the author, and just go into his house and be like, what the fuck? But the point is that the cliffhangers in this book were like amazing because it's almost like when you're watching a series and one episode stops at something that makes your blood boil. Yeah, when it stops there and then I say next on so and they show you like um snippets of what might happen in the next episode. That's how it is. I did not get the next part, but I always got the feeling that when this point we stopped, something magical will happen in the next point. So I just want to rush from that chapter to read the next chapter. And the thing is, the chapters were written by POVs. So if I'm reading one character in one chapter, the next chapter is going to be another character. That's how it was. So now something is happening with one character and it stops like at a cliffhanger for me. But I really want to get to that point where I'll read it again. But I still have like three other characters to read before I get there. But the amazing thing is that before you get there, you're still going to get three characters you are reading would also have some cliffhanger points. And you also want to get to where they are. So I just kept moving. Even if it was slow pace, I just kept moving. Like I really want to get there. I did not see it in that because I wanted to read this book. And I was just going you understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to read every step of every character, even those that I don't like. That's how great this book was well written. It was well written. It was well written. It was well written. It was well written. And I was blown away. Another thing for me was how refreshing it was. I like books that makes me think. It's almost like joining puzzles together. Like this book was like that because I already knew who the bright star was from the beginning. But there were other people that were just there and I was just wondering, is it that there are different layers of bright stars? Or is it that these people are going to be like the fighters that the warriors that will fight with the bright star, or is this person really know the bright star, or is this person the bright star? I had all that in my mind. I kept thinking, who or maybe this guy is actually Azroth and he has come out and we don't know, or maybe this guy is the black son. I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and I loved it so much. Like trying to put the puzzles together. It was amazing. I felt like, oh God. And like I said before, the cliffhangers also for me also pushed like this anticipation towards the point that this bright star will be revealed and this black sun will be revealed. Now at this point, I already know who these two champions are, and there's still anticipation towards the point that they will be revealed to the world. I want it to happen, but I also don't want it to happen yet because I want to watch the gradual process to the point that it happens. But I also want it to happen fast. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's there's this anticipation. Okay, now let's just talk about characters. Like I said in the beginning, the characters are much, and I also enjoyed reading their points of view because of the depth they add, because of how well they were written, because of their great personalities. And is the way you write a character that sets them apart. And the thing that also made me enjoy the slow process, the slow pace of this book, even though it was like really slow, was that I could feel the character growth. And we had to see the growth of the bright star. Like we had to see how he learned how to fight and all that, how he grew, how he's growing. Because I'm not saying him at the last point, but I feel like that was also the purpose of this slow pace and the beginning of this book is to introduce us to him and see his growth. For this character, oh my god, I enjoyed it so much. His growth was amazing. It was slow, but you could see the points. You could see the way it was changing. And even before that, even before he started training, you could see the kind of person he was. He's one of those people that will stand up against bullies, even though he is not strong enough to face those bullies. And he also has his doubts. He thinks he's a coward. But you see how brave he is, but he doesn't see it. He thinks he's a coward. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid. So he thinks the fear he has makes him a coward. Anyways, I think I'm already going off. But anyways, I loved the characters. I loved how the family love was written. Like you could feel the love. But like in the beginning of this book, Malice, there was something I did not like. I just come up and say there was something I did not like. So it was his debut, so I understand. Everybody was walking and spotting. Okay, so let me explain this. I realized at every point that different people, different characters. I'll just get to a point and I'll see he hugged and spat. He hugged and spat. I get that people do the hug and they spit. I get that. I know the spitting thing and it's annoying, it's irritating. So, and I get that you can use it as a characteristic of a character, like something that you do. I get that. So at first, when I saw it with one character, I thought, oh, this guy is imitating, and maybe that's what he does every time. Then it felt like almost all the male characters were hawking and sparting. And it was irritating me in my system. I was like, day, why is the hawking? Why is the sparting? I don't get why you're splitting up and down. I really don't get it. But I think at a point in the book, I'm serious, like from like 1 to 15 chapters. I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but this book is like 600 pages, so I think like Okay, let's just say 1 to 10 chapters. There was so much hugging and spatting. He hugged and spat. He hugged and spat. I feel like even if you want to say that they made a reaction, like they were explaining something, he ruffled his hair and continued on what he was saying. He stretched, something like that. And when he hugged and spat, he hugged and spat. He hugged and spat. I just hated it so much. But I think at a point he stopped. Now let's get into the dumb characters. It's just one dumb character that we have in this book. And his name is Veradis. His name is Veradis. And oh my god, this guy annoys me so much. Like, he makes me cringe. Cringe, 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 cringe. Like, to the point that I'm just like, what is it? So let's talk about how annoying Veradis is. So Veradis is personal guard of the crown prince, and now the king. He was the crown prince, then became the king of Tenebra, one of the kingdoms that that is preparing to fight the god war. Now, Veradis is the first sword. That's what they call him, the personal guard, the first sword. And it is so obvious that this crown prince, now turned king, is the black sun. But the fact that Veradis does not know, and he also, I don't think the black sun knows that he's the black sun. I think with the progress from the book, I'm not sure right now, but I don't think he knows that he's the black sun. So he told Veradis that he is the bright star, and Veradis believes it so much, like so completely, like completely believes that this guy is the black or is the bright star. And it's obvious that it's black sun. One, because it's in the prophecy that everybody has read, that they have told everybody that he also listened to, said that the black sun would would be the one to champion Azroth's war. Which means that the black sun will be doing evil things, will be causing war in different places. Even if he's not really doing it with his hand, like causing the war with his hand, he's manipulating it in a way. And the crown prince, now turned king of Tenabra, has been doing that. Varys can see it, he can see it like this, he can see it that this is what is happening. But he keeps thinking that he's the bright star and this is what has to be done for the God war to happen. This is what has to be done for good to prevail. This is what has to be done for the good side to win. I mean, it is so obvious, so obvious. And I feel like entering inside the book and like just shaking Veradis away. So I almost always feel like I should reach into the book and slap Veradis because you should know that he's the black sun. Like, it's everything that he has been doing, every step he has been taking, everybody that ends up dying, every place he goes to, or every place he sends his army to. You should know that he is the black sun. It's so obvious. Anyways, yeah, I think it's part of the story and it's part of how Veradis is supposed to be. He's like so loyal to the point that there's loyalty and there's blind loyalty. What Veradis has is blind loyalty. Let's get into the black son himself, Nathan. Nathan is, I get why people follow him. I get it because when I first started reading this book, when I did not get the sense I was the black son, I I saw, I almost fell in love with him. Like, he's charismatic. He's one of those people that want to get things into action. He's one of those people that think that change, that believe change is necessary, and he's a strategic thinker. He thinks a lot and he gets things done. But it's his method that made me realize that this guy is actually the black son. He's, like I said, he has every characteristic a leader should have. He has the charisma, he's handsome, but is his actions that made me just think, wow, this guy is a black son. Because even before we started getting the tips, I already knew. And the reason is because he is manipulative. Like, he doesn't make it look like he's manipulative, but he's manipulative in a way that he creates followers by making them feel that he believes in them, they are necessary, they are needed. He includes them in his world. Everybody he sees, everybody that became his followers. Now let's get to the point of Asbot himself. I feel like the way they describe Asbot in this book is the devil himself, like the trickster, cunning, and all that. And I am happy about the fact that Nathan is the black son. Because Nathan himself actually believes he's the bright star, even though everything he's doing is the opposite of what the bright star would actually do. And I feel like the prophecy, everybody except the Benelin and some other people know the actual prophecy, but everybody else has been misinterpreting the prophecy. And I feel like there are people that actually purposely allowed others to misinterpret this prophecy. And that is what is actually pushing Nathan to this point because he's misinterpreting the prophecy. I think the part that he's thinking that is for the bright star is actually for the black sun. So he's doing everything that leads to that. Now, when something is about prophecy and destiny, you're not the one that will be pushing it. You get? You're not the one that will be pushing it to act to that point. It's almost like Nathan is writing everything that has to do with the prophecy inside his own story. He's writing it himself inside his own story. Instead of the story to be pushing, the destiny to be pushing, he's the one creating the destiny for him to become the bright star. And I don't think he knows how weird that seems. So yeah, and again, I think one genius thing that John did with this book was not giving us, the readers. I don't know if we'll get at the end, maybe in Rat or Ruin, we're going to get a point of view from Nita. But I think the reason why I did that is to keep people guessing. Does he really know he's the black son? Or does he still think he's the bright star? And he doesn't know that everything he's doing is leading him to the point of being the black son. That is why we cannot get Nita's point of view yet. I think, I don't know, it's just a guess. But yes, that's just it. I actually, if Nita was not the black son, even as the black son said, I still like him. Because I like his character. Not everything that he's doing, but I like his character as the evil guy. Even though he's the evil guy that like people are pulling like a puppet string. You know, if you watch Naruto, it sounds almost like Madara to me. Like the way Kaguya was pulling Madara strings, small, like that's how it seems to me because Madara thinks he's the one that made this grand plan, but someone just pushed you, like gave you a nudge to do it because they can see that this is what you want to do. It's the same thing with Nectar. It's like it's just a nudge, just a push here, but you also want to do it. Anyways, I think I've rambled enough. This rant is enough. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I enjoyed it so much. If you can tell that I enjoyed it, I think it's still one of the best reviews I've done so far because I enjoyed talking about this book so much. And I promise you, I'm going to continue with this series. Like, I'm going to do it for Valor, Ruin, and Rat. I'm going to do a video on the entire series. So, thank you so much for watching. Bye. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Bye bye.